Here we share a sacred key to ground your humanity. This is a CST analysis. CST stands for circle, square, triangle, the three forces of human nature: body and desire, structure and achievement, identity and expression. But within CST, there's also Argos, the loyal figure who holds our humanity for safekeeping. When we're in anger, in warrior mode, or lost in power and ego, Argos reminds us we're more than the fight. They are the anchor of loyalty and love that keeps the flame of our humanity alive. Argos, the guardian of the soul, sacred role of the emotional witness. To understand the Argos archetype, we must return to the Odyssey, Homer's mythic epic of war, suffering, transformation, and return. Scene: one moment that meant everything. The Odyssey follows Odysseus, king of Ithaca, as he returns home after the Trojan War. The journey takes 20 years, filled with monsters, witches, gods, and storms. While he wanders and battles, his home is slowly overrun by arrogant suitors trying to marry his wife Penelope and claim his throne. He returns in disguise, unrecognized by anyone, except one: Argos, his old hunting dog. Once strong and swift, Argos is now broken and flea-bitten, lying in filth. But when Odysseus walks by, dressed as a beggar, Argos lifts his head. His ears twitch, his eyes shine. He knows, he remembers. No words are spoken, no grand reunion, just a moment of recognition. And the moment he saw Odysseus, he dropped his ears and wagged his tail, but he had no strength to move toward his master. Now that he had fulfilled his destiny of faith and seen his master once more after 20 years, Argos dies. He waited 20 years, in pain, in loyalty, in silence. And the moment his master was safe, the moment his eyes confirmed the truth, with his mission complete, he finally allows himself to take one final inhale and exhale, and he lets go. That is Argos, not just a dog, the soul that remembers you when no one else does, the one who doesn't need proof, because their love never disconnected. And in this scene, something even deeper happens. When Odysseus acknowledges Argos, he regains something he had nearly lost: his humanity. Up until that point, Odysseus has been a shapeshifter, a killer, a liar, a survivor. He's lived in deception and war. He's forgotten how to feel. But seeing Argos, and being seen by Argos, brings him back his circle. It is his first step toward emotional reinitiation before returning as king. Without this moment, he might have reclaimed his home through blind vengeance, cold impulsiveness, or sheer power. Tyranny. Because of Argos, he returns with justice. That quiet gaze becomes the reinitiation of his circle, his softness, his belonging, his soul. Only after this moment does he act decisively, wisely, and clearly. This is not a minor detail. This is the emotional threshold of the entire story. In CST terms, this is a circle reinitiation, the restoration of the part of the self that had to be suppressed in order to survive the journey. Circle, desire, belonging, emotional memory, is dangerous on the battlefield. It must be frozen. But a man cannot live in square and triangle alone. A man without circle is a shell, and the one who brings it back to him is not a warrior, or a lover, or a son. It's a dog, a being who asks nothing, expects nothing, but offers everything, just by seeing him. The Argos archetype, loyalty beyond language. In CST, Argos represents something deeper than friendship. It is the circle guardian, the presence that keeps your warmth alive when the world has gone cold. The one who waits when no one else believes, loves without needing evidence, remembers who you are. Even if you forget, Argos is not always human. Sometimes it's an old friend, a childhood pet, a memory, a scent, a home, a promise, an idea, an ideal. A secret pact you made with the not yet corrupted version of yourself. There was once a man having a very, very bad day, now standing at the edge of a cliff, with one foot already floating over the drop, when suddenly a monarch butterfly drifted gently onto his shoulder. Softly, slowly, a moment, a reconsideration. He looked down and over his shoulder, now, chin to chin, with a tiny little Argos that brought him back. A breath given back into humanity. Quite the butterfly effect on the entire course redirection of a human being. Sometimes it's the part of yourself that refuses to forget the light you once carried. Argos does not guide you to the throne. Argos keeps your soul safe until you remember how to come back to it. And in the case of Odysseus, Argos is not just a pet. He is Odysseus's lost self, the version of him that stayed behind when he went to war, the part that never changed, never hardened, never forgot. And in the end, that part had to die in order for Odysseus to become whole again. It is a paradox. In death, Argos completes him. Only after this sacred moment does Odysseus reclaim his house, his wife, and his place in the world. But now he is not doing it to prove himself. He is doing it from a place of integration. He is no longer just the strategist, not just the mask, not just the survivor. He is again Odysseus, son of Ithaca, loved, remembered, and whole. Argos, Argyros, Argentum, and the symbolism of silver. The name Argos echoes the Greek word Argyros, Arguros, meaning silver. From this root, the Latin Argentum later emerges, carrying the same resonance forward. Silver is no accident here. In myth, gold often represents glory, power, or destiny, the radiant triangle of the hero's journey. But silver is quieter. It reflects rather than shines. It is the mirror metal, the moonlight to gold's sun. Silver represents memory, loyalty, inner forgotten purity, moonlight protection. Just as Argos lies waiting in the shadows, not seen, not celebrated, silver lies in the realm of the sacred unseen. Gold is public victory. Silver is private loyalty. And in the soul's journey, we need both. Argos, Argyros silver, is the emotional witness, the being who holds your truth when you are too lost or disguised to hold it yourself. In alchemy, the ancient art that used the transformation of metals, the making of lead into gold, as a metaphor for the transformation of the soul. Silver belongs to the reflective stage, the purification that follows the initial shadow stage, the process of dissolution and decomposition. After the soul is broken down and dissolved in shadow, the reflective stage emerges as purification, a washing clean. Alchemists described it as the moment the material was washed in lunar dew, the moon's light revealing form after the darkness of night. Silver, then, functions as a symbolic catalyst for reflection, but not completion. It marks the halfway point of transformation. The reflective stage is not the golden perfection of the final unifying stage, the culmination where wholeness and union are achieved. Instead, it is the stage of clarity without yet being integration, self-awareness without yet being freedom. It is the moon's light that reveals the landscape but cannot make it bloom. Silver shows the soul what could be, but it does not yet deliver it. This is why silver is so deeply tied to Argos. Argos is not the triumph of Odysseus's return. He does not fight, conquer, or speak. He only recognizes. He reflects Odysseus's true identity when no one else can see it. Like silver in alchemy, Argos does not complete the journey, but he illuminates it. He stands as the mirror of loyalty and memory, a quiet witness that signals purification has begun, even if transformation has not yet been fulfilled. Silver is not only important in mythic beliefs like alchemy, but also in the real science of chemistry. In both worlds, it serves the same symbolic role, a catalyst of change. In chemistry, silver is not only precious but active, a literal catalyst. It initiates reactions without ever becoming the product itself. Because of its unique electronic structure, silver can briefly attach to molecules, lowering the barriers that keep them inert. In doing so, it helps to stabilize transition states and activate molecules for transformation. Yet, in the end, silver remains unchanged, the silent witness to a reaction it made possible, but did not itself become. That's the nature of reflection in the CST framework. It doesn't complete the transformation, it restarts it, it activates it, it gets you ready. It's the moment you see your shadow clearly but haven't yet alchemized it. It's Snape loving Lily in Harry Potter, but never healing his pain. It's someone who becomes honest, but not yet free. Argos in the CST framework. In CST terms, circle is the body, desire, warmth. Square is the structure, skill, mission. Triangle is the self, the story, the connection. But none of these can fully survive alone. Every journey into hardship, exile, war, trauma, requires an Argos, someone or something that remembers your shape while you are being reforged. The world may test you, your square may harden, your triangle may shatter, your circle may starve, but Argos waits. Always loyal, sometimes beside you, sometimes inside you, sometimes at the right place and right time, when and where he is needed the most, between you and the entrance of that dark place where there is no return. The final Argos, the last gate before the spiral. There is also one final, more terrifying form of Argos. The final Argos, the gatekeeper who appears just before you descend into the event horizon of no return, or the point of no return. This is the last whisper of your circle, the final flicker of emotional truth before you cross into something irreversible. Cruelty, numbness, an irreversible crime towards humanity, soul abandonment. The final Argos stands at the threshold and pleads, "There is still time to turn back, it's not too late. Don't forget about those you have loved and of those who still love you. There is still some good left in you. It is the guardian of your last humanity. If you ignore it, you don't just lose your path, you lose yourself. But if you pause, if you look, if you acknowledge them, you might still return, you might still live." Final Argos is the duel of fates. The final Argos is not a battle of fists, it is a battle to save your soul. You stand at the edge. You are handed one last memory, one last plea, a child, a tear, a voice, one more way out. You can soften or you can double down. Every villain was once a person who walked right past Argos. Every hero who returns intact once knelt before Argos and wept, even if it was just a single tear. When Argos is abandoned. Not every hero honors their Argos. Some, like Walter White, Breaking Bad, kill their Argos, sacrificing emotional loyalty for ambition. Some, like Miss Maria Minchin, a little princess, lock Argos in cold, dark attic, a form of engagement, refusing to remember the softness they once brought to their home. Some forget, some outgrow, some destroy. But when that happens, something goes missing. You become a king without warmth, a beast without a mirror, a legend that no one truly loves. Final reflection. What the dog sees. This story teaches something eternal, that no matter how far we go into square excellence or triangle idol, we must return to the circle, not through pleasure, not through indulgence, but through recognition, through being seen by someone who loves us without question or reward. Sometimes that someone is not even human. Sometimes it's a dog on a doorstep who waited for you to come home. And when he sees you, when you are seen, you become whole again. That is the circle at its most sacred. That is Argos.